Many of the people in this room have had their lives devastated by the war in Iraq. They suffered the loss of sons and daughters, brothers and sisters, all of whom have died in a faraway conflict. Today, they've gathered to share their concerns about the war with the committee of the Iraq inquiry.
What we heard this morning, though it was not evidence, was very important information about what is on people's minds and in their hearts. There's a wide range of things, from equipment to decision-taking to planning to the way the military and indeed the country's own services look after people after the event. A wide agenda.
Around 50 families have taken part in these face-to-face meetings, and for many, the unanswered questions serve to add to their hurt. Veronica Bariek from Wythenshawe lost her son, Private Lee Ellis, in 2006. He was killed by a roadside bomb.
It's 3.5 years now since Lee was killed, and I suppose really the family and myself, we want to know, well, why did that happen? There was no weapons, it was a lie really. Why did he go over there? And then of course there's the issues of equipment. Lee was killed in a Snatch, a Land Rover, which basically wasn't fit for purpose, but why was he still allowed to, to travel in one? It wasn't if he was the first person killed in a Snatch Land Rover. Why was the lesson not learnt from the previous deaths? We are hoping that we're going to get some answers. And we have a couple of members of the meeting today have made that quite vocal. They want answers. They want the truth to come out.
Eddie Hancock from Wigan still feels the loss of his son Jamie keenly. He was shot whilst on sentry duty 3 years ago in Iraq. Mr. Hancock feels that someone must be held accountable for the decision to send troops to Iraq.
My anger is so strong that it's basically hatred. When a person manufactures evidence to send them to somewhere where they basically died for nothing, this would say to anybody there was a dereliction of duty which is breathtaking.
Despite the many uncertainties, many of those here today hold one man responsible for the war in Iraq.
I think Mr. Blair has got a lot to answer for.
History will judge him to be the most inept Prime Minister in living memory. And for the damage he has done both to our armed forces and our nation, he will pay dearly for it in the future. Iraq will be his legacy, and history will prove him to have been the mother of all liars.
Nothing can take away the pain and the anger and the sorrow. But we will do as strong a job as we can. There's no question of whitewash. We're entirely independent. If we find people or things to blame, we will. But the big thing is to find, if we can, useful lessons for the future.